Hey everybody, welcome back on board. So the Sea of Thieves is forever evolving. The addition of seasons has seen us take to the seas with even more desire for adventure, following in the footsteps of the tall tales once again, to retracing the breadcrumbs of lost vessels whose precious cargo has had yourself hired as a nautical Sherlock Holmes. But you've become distracted without knowing it. Things are changing around the outposts. People are beginning to stake claim on the shores, and already shady characters are becoming even more shadier. In today's video, I'm going to be speculating on who or what is deciding to set up shop at the outposts of Sea of Thieves. Ready? Let's go. Have you ever thought about how convenient it would be if we had a supply vendor at outposts? A place where you can buy extra storage. I mean, you do have an absurd amount of storage available on your ship, but the convenience of having storage boxes available for a small amount of gold would be game-changing in my opinion. We've all pulled storage crates from the water and filled them with resources and placed them in areas of convenience on our ship, so why not make these crates available from the get-go? I mean, I don't see the harm it would have when starting your journey, and as well, it would breathe a little more life into the outposts too. Somebody has to be responsible for the general convenience and supply of food, water and storage crates, aside from the vendors we already currently see. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. How many times have you ended your voyage with resources that could fill a crate and be sold to a Merchant Alliance vendor, but instead you've just logged off and those resources that could have been sold for renown and rep have now gone to waste? To me, it just feels like the outposts seem a little unfinished without someone like this. A shoreside outpost vendor that sells items that improve the quality of life whilst you're sailing the sea. I don't know, I'm pretty biased, but I think it's a good idea. I recently streamed with Captain Falcor and Heal Please Heal, go follow their channels because they're bloody great, and they mentioned how cool it would be to have a place where you could buy a rowboat before setting out on your adventure in the Sea of Thieves. That's a damn good idea, although it's very rare that I have in fact gone out of my own way to grab a rowboat to assist me whenever I've stumbled upon one on my journeys. Although I did attempt to steal a galleon's loot in a rowboat in one past video, kinda just bamboozled myself there, but that's not to say it isn't something that the majority wouldn't find a convenience. Would you fancy a rowboat salesman on the shoreline who, for a few gold pieces, would slap a rowboat on the back of your ship before you set off? In fact, that same person could probably also knock up some storage crates for you too. To me, it sounds like we need a jack-of-all-trades vendor here on the outposts of Sea of Thieves. People seem to have a lot of good ideas that could be combined into one. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. On my travels across the seas, I've often been curious what plans are in store for the NPCs scattered across the islands. Some, of course, certainly have world-changing implications attached to them, whereas others seem to stick out like sore thumbs. At least they do for me. Meet Deadshot Charlotte, a lonesome NPC on Lone Cove. Doesn't really do much other than accept cargo run items from time to time, and also comment on what it takes to be a bounty hunter. Now, this is something I know many people will not enjoy, but I really like the idea of being given a live target and hunting it down. You could say that the Order of Souls have their own bounty system when it comes to hunting down skeleton captains whose skulls fetch a pretty penny. But what about a vessel on the seas that is dominating the treasure that's up for grabs, sinking every ship in sight and leaving the seas saltier than they already are? We have emissary flags and they already pretty much put your ship on a wanted list, but that's all according whether there's someone else out there that fancies taking that risk in attacking and coming out on top with more than they already had. However, I'd like to be a pirate for hire. I mean, we already are, but to other players. How about a system that allows pirates to put up revenge missions on another vessel? For a fee, of course. It's simple. If you get sunk by a vessel and if you're that desperate for revenge, you could put up a bounty for the sinking of that ship. Gold is plentiful to many pirates, what with seasons throwing bucket loads of gold your way for leveling renown, so it shouldn't be too taxing on the wallet if someone's willing to put that reward up. The pirate seeking revenge could visit the bounty hunter and be given the option of putting a select price on the vessel that landed the killing blow. But if you're not an outpost, how are you going to become aware of these bounties? We already have indicators of available treasure across the sea spiraling into the sky. How about something of similar nature? Or maybe even an ominous horn that belts out across the ocean to indicate that a ship has a price put upon it. You check your map, you find the bounty marker, you hunt it down. I imagine that if you're successful, you'll need to hand an item into the bounty hunter at an outpost. Maybe it'll be some cloth torn from the sails. I'm not sure, but of course I imagine people like Deadshot Charlotte will want evidence of this sinking before handing over any reward. Writing this has got me excited in anticipation to whether the developers have considered something within this nature. I love speculating about Sea of Thieves, and since deciding to specialize my channel on the game, it's opening my creativity even more when it comes to thinking what plans they have ahead for these NPCs. Now that brings an end to today's video. I hope you've enjoyed your time on board, and if you're thinking of joining us, you can do so by hitting the subscribe button. If you feel like supporting the channel even further, then why not consider becoming a member too? I stream most weekends over on Twitch, and you can catch my weekly ramblings over on Twitter. These links can be found in the description down below or pinned to the top comment. Thanks again, be safe, be well, and I'll see you again soon.